Well, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to the webinar, All the Dirt on VCI, your secret weapon to reduce rust and increase sales. Forms of corrosion. So now that you're a rust color expert, we need to know what are some of the reasons why our customers might see metal parts that are rusting during shipping and storage. So we have top 5. Number 5 is going to be your improper usage of VCI. In that picture on your screen, on the right-hand side on the bottom, you're going to see VCI on the outside of the box. As you know, VCI should be as close to the metal surface as possible. And when we get to that slide where I show you how VCI leaves the carrier, you'll probably say to yourself, why would anyone put VCI on the outside of the box? But it does happen. So if your customers have their VCI on the outside of the box, you can work with them on the proper usage of VCI. If you look at the top picture, they might just not be closing their VCI. We have for you, as our partners, proper usage guides. If a proper usage guide is something that you want, make sure you type that in the comment section. Type to Ryan and say, hey, send me the proper VCI usage guide. Number 4 is condensation. So you can remember number 4 because condensation and humidity is not great for metal parts and it is not great for my hair. So for humidity, we know that it's pretty straightforward. The more humid it is, the more likely we're going to have rust. But I want you to think about rust with inside of packaging, because sometimes we forget to share this information with our customers. It's not just the humidity in the area, but the humidity and condensation inside of packaging. And what do I mean by that? So imagine right now trays and returnable trays. You know, for returnable trays, there's usually a spot where someone can grab a hold of the tray. Now imagine all those trays stacked together. Those handholds make what we call the chimney effect, because moisture can cause normal temperatures to be accentuated inside the packaging, and just means that air is moving up and down like a chimney. But as that airflow flows up and down inside the packaging as it shifts and those temperatures shift, it can cause condensation. And an easy solution that people just don't think about is either stuffing some VCI package in those handholds or maybe layering a piece of VCI in between all the returnable trays. So when you think about condensation and humidity, don't just think about the environment on the outside of the packaging, but also think about the environment on the inside of the packaging. Number 3, top reason why metal parts rust during shipping and storage is handling. So look at that picture on the right-hand side of your screen. You can see what looks like a thumbprint. And that's because not wearing gloves is our top 3rd reason why metal parts shift during shipping and rust during shipping and storage. But here's an interesting fact for the day. Women's hands are just more acidic than men. So your customer might be having new rust issues because somebody new is working on the line, and you can point that out to them. And you can also remind them that it's important to always wear gloves when handling metal parts, and to also make sure that those gloves are clean, because a pair of dirty gloves could be even worse than someone's bare hands. Number 2. Remember how we talked about yellow rust in the beginning? This is an example of yellow rust. The number 2 reason why metal parts rust during shipping and storage could be that they're taken directly out of cleaning solution without being thoroughly dried. So you can remind your customers, especially if they say to you, we are seeing yellow rust, that they could either put metal parts in a wire basket and allow them to air dry. They could use forced air or heat. Or if it's just not possible in their process, maybe they need to include a form of desiccant inside their packaging, or an ARMOR VCI Smarty Pack, which is a combination of VCI and desiccant. And then the number one reason that we find that metal parts rust during shipping and storage is dirty conditions. So what do I mean by dirty? A couple different things. We mean unclean workspaces, swarf, and dirty cleaning solutions. So here's two things I want you to remember that you can share with your customer when it comes to dirty conditions. And one is swarf. So some people don't know what this is. If you think about a piece of wood being cut and you see sawdust, we all know what sawdust is. The same thing happens for metal. In metal, that carbon dust, the term is just called swarf. And swarf likes to form a galvanic corrosion cell, which is just a fancy way of saying it likes to cause corrosion underneath the other metal parts that it lands on. So we can remind our customers of swarf. We can also remind them that cleaning solutions and part baths need to have a specific pH balance in order to work. The best analogy we have for this is if you think of a big meal at your house versus a meal with just maybe your family of 4 for the cleaning bath. So my family of 4, I have the dishes, I bring them over to the sink, I fill the sink up with water, I wash those 4 dishes, and it's no big deal. Now I'm having a huge family gathering. Maybe I'm having Thanksgiving at my house, and I have grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles' dishes. I bring the first 10 dishes over to the sink. As I start washing those dishes, I realize, nothing's happening. It's my bath is dirty. And that's something that we need to remind your customers about, that it could be, and they could be having rust because the cleaning bath and the parts bath does not have the right pH. And it just needs to be titrated.